Hello, my little gobletos. My goblins and my goblets. That's a female goblin, I think. So, we're playing against our sworn enemy. Tri-Brigade. Lame. Sticking my tongue out at him right now. He's gonna get his weird... I thought this thing was a panda. Apparently it's not. It's like a minotaur type thing. Well, he's gonna get full combo off. Pretty average play. The only thing I could hope for is he doesn't have like an imperm or something to set on top of this revolt. So he's gonna set revolt, and that's pretty much it. So I have to fight through a revolt. Not too big of a deal. We're gonna unexpected die. And I want you guys to guess right in the comments right now. Do you think I'm killing him this turn? Just guess. Guess I'm killing this turn. Well, we're going to summon our World Legacy Chalice. He's going to revolt me. So what Gizmek Kaiku does is I get to steal his Link monster and equip it. Which is hilarious. It is hilarious. So I'm going to take it. World Legacy, World Chalice activates. And that's going to send Tri-Brigade Shurig to the graveyard. He's going to get all the effects off still. So, in my mind, I'm like, I really hope this doesn't go to next turn 3. Because he's going to have a pretty crazy follow-up. So, I'm, like, when I was playing this game, I was just looking for game. The entire time, I'm just looking for game. And it looks a little bleak, but let's see what we can do. We go into Blade Master. Blade Master lets you do some pretty nutty effects. But remember, it is a once per turn effect. We're going to add some more cards to our hand. Because I'm Duke, when this card goes to the graveyard, it is not a once per turn effect. You can keep special summoning World Chalice cards from your hand. So we're going to go to Unicorn. Unicorn's just going to pop that back. We're going to World Legacy, bring back I'm Duke. I'm going to pop the I'm Duke to bring back Lib. Because we need the damage. And then I'm Duke's also going to let special summon so we can go into Access Code Talker. Like, isn't that crazy how my mediocre ass board was able to do that much damage? Isn't that nuts? That's why this deck rocks. Now we're on game 2, my dirty little trinkets. Now let's see what we can do here. Emergency teleport gets our chosen. This is going to be probably the most mid board you'll ever see in your life. It's not as bad as you think though. I know it looks horrible, but we have Ash, we have Legacy, and we have ways of playing against our opponent's board. So we're going to Ash he's playing clearly Despia Dark Lords. He's going to pop his first fusion. I'm going to fucking get rid of that immediately. Before he can get the fusion off. Then he has Aliber. So he has a second theater in the deck. Kind of annoying. But like I said, if he goes for the fusion here, because nobody plays against World Legacy, you actually think he's reading this card? So now I can just send him to the graveyard. And since I sacrificed, I get to special summon my Guard Dragon and Lee to the field. So now we're playing in a different ball game. We're going to special summon with our Destiny hero. And then we bring back Destroyer Phoenix. And World Key Blade Master. This card is so nutty. Because it gets us our World Legacy successor, right? And then on top of letting us get it, it allows us to get rid of a card on the field. By shuffling it back into their deck. So, that's a pretty crazy effect in itself. That's why Nightmare Unicorn's so good. We just got rid of both cards on their field. He brings back Aliber. It's not even like we care about that, right? I mean, we're going to go into I'm Duke, into Access Code Talker, because it needs 2 effect monsters. That's why we had to do that. And game's pretty over. Like, he's super dead, and we do this to BM him. Gotta BM. Always BM your opponent. If you're not BMing, I'm going to be upset. I just want to preface with these this deck too. Is like, I know the deck looks a little wonky, but I went on a 10-game win spree in Plat with the deck. It's pretty good. That's not bad. And I wanted to showcase this because I love seeing people Ash Blossom, Agent of Creation Venus. This happens so frequent, it's not even funny. And I mean, if you're able to get a full Venus off, you pretty much win the game if no one disrupts you. Because look at this. This horrible hand that I have is about to get completely fixed with Yugioh. Look how nuts my hand's about to get. Boop. Hand's nutty. Out with this hand, we're able to go into our True King of Calamity. We're going to be able to probably link climb into an access code talker. And we're going to be able to pretty much get rid of everything he has on his board. So he's going to have to fight. He's just dead on board. There's no way. He has to have Disruptor, and if he doesn't have it, it's over. And I honestly think we're going to see a scoop, if I remember correctly. Because that's just how this deck works. You start popping off, and your opponent just concedes. Real fun. I never get to show anything. Alrighty, let's see what we have in store for this game. Again, Agent of Creation. Oh, we're not getting ashed at least. We're going into I'm Duke. I'm Duke is going to sacrifice. This is kind of ideally what you want to do. It's like a perfect Yugioh. Because now we get the Yugioh and we get the World Chalice effect activating. And we get I'm Duke's effect activating. So we get to special summon 3 monsters to the field and then draw 4 cards. And then boom, we got True King in our hand. Because these cards are free special summons. So we're going to special summon 1. Special summon the other. Just have to banish 2 normal types. Which is very easy to do with this deck. True King of Calamity. Then we're just going to summon. So I could have gone Apollosa, which could have been a good play. But I'm already going to lock him out of effects really with True King. So I wanted to go into DPE. Just so it has something. Honestly, I'm screwed if they try to use Regeki or something. They're just going to wipe my board. But if not, they just lose. Just like that. Boop, boop.
Subscribe now for some more sick content. And next week, we're going to be streaming on Twitch TV. Be sure to follow and don't miss a beat.
Hello, let's go over this deck real quick since how spicy it is. So, this deck is pretty damn cheap. And the reason why it's cheap is because we run 17 Ultras. But look at it. 3 of those Ultras, 5 of those Ultras. I would even argue DPE is a staple. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 Ultras should be staples you craft anyway. So realistically, it's 6 Ultras that you don't craft. One of those Ultras you get from playing the campaign anyway, the solo mode. The deck's pretty darn cheap, and most of the cards are like rare, normal types, and we got some supers. But like I said, Unexpected Die, you get that shit for free. You're really not crafting too much. IB World Chalice, you get that for free. I'm Duke, you get it for free. A lot of these cards you get for free. So ideally, what you want to do turn 1, you get Agent of Creation Venus out, summon all 3 balls. One of the balls is going to go into I'm Duke. Then you sacrifice a creature to summon World Chalice. Link summoning all of them together to make either Yugioh or to make Apollosa. Really depends I say Apollosa is more of a safety play. Sayugja is a funner play. Sayugja is a play you do when you have a fucking giant pair of cojones. And it's also fun, and it also lets you search for one-shots, like your True Kings. Because remember, True King of Calamity pretty much shuts your opponent's entire turn down. It's really annoying for decks to deal with. The only decks that really don't care about it are like back row decks. We run World Legacy Monstrosity. So this card is a 1-card True King. So we run Thunder King, World Legacy Guard Dragon, and Gizmek. So if you get World Legacy Guard Dragon out or Gizmek out, which are, we understand that's free, all you have to do is target one level 9 monster you control, special summon from your deck 2 level 9 monsters, each with different original type and attribute, which all these are different types and attributes, and then you can XZ summon them into True King. So it's a 1-card True King. We only run one of them in the deck, though, because it's very reliant on having one of these 4 cards in our hand, which Sayugja is pretty good at sifting through the deck, which is why I like going into it. Ideally, the end board you want to end on would be something like Apollosa with True King, with World Legacy Sorrow, and like Tri-Wizard or something. Because for you to use World Legacy Sorrow, you need to have a monster. They need to be co-linked. So you need to have some type of co-link happening there. But like, or even you can even say Sayugja with Apollosa pointing towards it and True King of Calamities with DPE would be a pretty damn good board in my opinion. Because what that essentially does is you get multiple monster negates. So if they try and activate negate cards from hand, similar to, let's say, Sword Soul. Sword Soul does a lot of cards effects from hand. True King will prevent anything going on the field. But if they activate the level 6 Sword Soul card, they can play that onto the field with the token and still Synchro Summon. Because that effect activates in hand. And typically, if you're playing against Sword Soul Tenyi, I usually call Dark, because I'd rather deal with that than deal with Vishuddha. So that's part of what you can do. We run Transmodify for extra ways of going into Venus. So if we have Transmodify in hand, that means if we have Mystic Shine Ball or Lee, both those cards allows you to go into Venus. That's pretty much the only reason, because Venus gives you full combo. We run Ash for our hand trap. Called by the Grave to try and stop Max C's. The deck honestly is like relatively awkward in a sense, because you can have turns where you just play one card and then DPE, and then that's pretty much your turn. It's still annoying for your opponent to deal with because all your cards really do something, but you're not building these unbreakable boards that are going to one-shot your opponent. And again, like I said, I went on a 10-game win streak with the deck. Deck is actually pretty decent. Like, if this deck was a complete ass, I would tell you. But I got on a goddamn roll with this deck. I don't know if it's because I just got into sync with it, but it does some pretty powerful stuff. Other than that, I would say, do you build it so you can go to for you to play competitively? No. You build it because you want to have fun playing a different deck. So if I had to level this on a power scaling, I think it's weaker than the Elemental deck, which I think I give a 7.5 rating to. So I would give this probably like a 7 or 6.5. It's good. I think it's better than the Magistus deck I made. I think it's better than that. But you're not gonna win tournaments or anything with it. I think that you can hit Diamond 1 with the deck. Like I said, absolutely annihilated Plat. But that's, I don't know. It really depends. I didn't really play against any Sword Soul matchups. So it really depends on how that matchup is. I would imagine the matchup being okay, but Sword Soul beats pretty much every deck in the format, so hard to tell. Well, that's another wacky build for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, I'll be streaming next week, so look out for that, and follow me on Twitch if you want your cock and balls to grow. So, goodbye.